Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Life Beyond the Line, Silence to Strength. Today I'm joined by a gentleman who's got a very powerful story to share, from trauma to strength. So I'm just going to hand over to Ronnie and say thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Will.
How are you feeling coming in to share your story with us?
Excited, and I want to get the point out what I've been through, and there is a possibility to recovery out there.
Who are you today?
I'm a better person. I was horrible when I was in addiction. I used to shout, I used to moan, I used to have arguments with the girlfriend. Now it's a lot better.
Life's just better, isn't it?
Life is just better.
Do you want to tell us a bit about what it was like for you growing up as a kid?
As a kid, we weren't from the best of families. We were poor, we were struggling. We always struggled to get money. I used to have a close family. We all used to have like the estate nearly. There was a couple of alcoholics in the family that I knew that were living next door. So it just swings from that.
So what part of your childhood did alcohol become a problem?
I started drinking at 15.
15. It's like most teenagers start drinking, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the same for you. Was you always someone who kept things hidden back as a child?
Always kept things hidden. I used to struggle in school, but I always put it under. I never struggled. I was hardly able to spell. I couldn't read. But when people was asking me, oh yeah, I can read, I can write, I can spell. The only good thing I was good at was maths.
Yeah, it's the fake image, isn't it?
It is.
That we all carry. So at that point of childhood, you've already just touched on it a little bit, but what was going on internally for you?
It was a struggle, Will. The rest of the family were good at things. I was masking what was inside. I couldn't do it. I left school at 15 because I didn't want to sit with GCSEs because I know I can't read and write properly. Mm-hmm. I still struggle to the day now to read and write properly. I can read, don't get me wrong, but I can't do the big words. They asked me to read in AA on Sunday and I couldn't do it. I had to pass it on to someone else because I just couldn't get them big words.
So how did your teenage years turn into addiction? How did your life?
Because it was more, I started at 15 and then I started going out with friends at 17 and then it was just drink. It was all, that's what teenagers done back then, we just drank. But then it just got out of control.
At what point did you feel it got out of control? When did you know?
Last year.
So from 15 to last year?
Yeah, I'm 44.
So that's a long time. I'm no good at maths.
It's 29 years.
29 years. Obviously you've lived your life.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit about your life from up to the point where you finally admitted you had a problem?
I didn't have a problem with it back then. Everybody asked me, no, I don't. I just like a drink. But 20 odd cans a day is not a drink, is it?
Well, that's it, isn't it? We don't think we've got a problem.
No. I never had a problem. I just like to have a drink. I just like to feel that way. But it's not. It is a problem. We have got a problem.
It's insane, isn't it, to think that 20 cans of alcohol a day is normal.
It was for me back then.
But surely with that consequences came.
Yeah, health issues.
Yeah.
Health issues. My liver was packing up. I was struggling to walk, breathing. just couldn't do, from day to day, I just couldn't do day-to-day exercises. And I lost my licence through drink driving.
So while all this was going on, did you feel pressure to make it look as if you was okay to the outside world?
All the time, because I used to, when I used to go meet the girlfriend from work, I was worse for wear, don't get me wrong, but I've got to show that I'm not a boss, because I'm actually going into a workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And then other people as well, who are like, I used to drive for the chemist, and I used don't get me wrong, I used to go in under the influence, but I had to always show that I wasn't pissed. I had to put an act on to show that I was okay.
But deep down,
I know for a fact that I'm over the limit.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be driving. I knew I shouldn't be driving, but it's just a force that I got a job, I've got to do it.
So at what point in your life, obviously I know it was last year, but when did you realise that you couldn't carry on like that anymore?
December 2024. Just before Christmas, I decided.
Was there something happen to make you say, no, my life's got to change?
Yeah, the doctors told me if I don't stop, my liver will be packing up in 6 months' time, and I need a liver transplant. It got to that point where it scared me, and I thought, I'm 45. I don't need this. I don't need to be drunk all the time. I've got better things to do than just sit in isolation and just drink.
So that's where it took you, isolation?
Yeah.
So we touched on our chats this week. You've spoken about a traumatic experience. How did that impact you emotionally?
It was hard, Will. Very, very hard. I'm a big guy. I'm a doorman. I normally do doors. But when you're in addiction and you've got that ail inside you, you haven't got the strength to do anything.
Well, we put ourselves in vulnerable situations, don't we?
We do.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your trauma?
Yeah, about 10 years ago I was in really bad addiction again. I was drunk, I was going through my front door, and the guy forced his way in and raped me.
Did you know the guy?
No, I didn't.
That must have been horrible. So you wasn't drinking with the guy, or?
No. When he left behind, I decided to just follow him. I know I shouldn't have done, but I did. Crazy addiction I had. Just follow the guy, see where he's going. And I found he went back to the JMO, and he went onto a coach full of teenage boys. And I wasn't going to report it to the police. But when I seen him getting on that bus with that teenage boys, if he could do that to me, what's he going to do to teenage boys?
And from then, did you use alcohol to
Yeah, I used alcohol to numb the guilt, the shame, everything what comes with it. And it's even worse when I did go to the police, they didn't prosecute. So it got even worse drinking, and it's like...
You just felt like nobody cared?
No.
Well, it's not shameful. It's something out of your control, which unfortunate is not nice, and I don't know what to say. You've lived a horrible experience which has took you to an even darker hole, and so you've numbed that with alcohol, but ultimately getting sober, how do you cope with it today?
I've got tools and trips to cope with it. I never used to until I started volunteering at a place where I volunteer. My girlfriend's there for me as well. She supports me really well. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it still brings up the past and it still hurts. But there's tools and tricks out there that you can do it and move on. You don't have to use alcohol to numb the pain.
I'm sorry you went through that, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that with us. But it's beautiful I've known you for, I'd say 6 months. You've followed me and we've been in conversation, and it's nice to see that you're getting on with your life today.
Yeah.
You're building relationships back up. But let's go back to your turning point, the Christmas 2024. What was happening at that time that made you say no, that's it, other than your liver?
I text my 2 girls and said,
your daughters?
My 2 daughters, and said, am I seeing you over Christmas? And he said, no. So I asked him why, and he said, because you're still drinking, Dad. We've had a lifetime of it. You started drinking when we were born. You were drinking when we were born, and you're still drinking now. And that hurt. When they said they weren't going to come and see me, and plus with me liver, that was just a turning point. It was like.
So, was there any other attempts for you to stop drinking?
I did have one attempt on my own, but it never worked. Yeah. It never worked. You can't do recovery on your own. You need people around you.
When you made the decision to stop drinking, your 2 daughters have just told you you're not seeing them at Christmas. The doctors and medical teams have told you your liver's packing in. You've tried to drink on your own, tried to stop drinking on your own, sorry. This time in 2024, when you made that decision, enough's enough, did you feel fear, relief, or both?
Both. I felt fear that I would never be able to drink again, but I felt relief that I'm going to hopefully build them relationships back up in my sobriety, and hopefully I can build them back up a bit. It's going to take small steps, but I will get there eventually. So,
this is what I love about my podcast. It's not all the way I got clean and sober. It's an experience for everyone. And I love that people can get clean and sober in so many different ways. Do you want to tell us a bit about how you started your journey?
I started my journey, I went into Inspire in Skelmersdale and I asked for help. And they were giving me help. They wanted to detox me before that Christmas. I said no. I said I want one more Christmas drinking and that's it. So in January 2025 I went through a home detox.
And how did that feel?
I was scared and nervous because I knew that I couldn't touch that alcohol again. It knocked me for 6 because I was just sleeping all the time because them tablets just make me sleep, and I just hoped that I could go through it, but I was scared of doing a whole detox.
While you was going through the home detox, what did you find hard? Or was there anything you found hard? Sorry.
Staying away from that ale. Staying away from the bloody addiction I had.
Was there a moment during that you actually thought, this is real, I'm actually giving it a go to pack in?
Yeah, all the time. The first 3 days you don't do anything because you just zombified the first 3 days, but on the 4th day I thought, I want to do this. I want to help. I want to get recovered. I want to stay off the ale. I don't want it. I don't need it. It just causes too much problems.
So, how did you go from home detox? Did you basically stay indoors. Explain a bit about a home detox to me.
A home detox where you start on a Monday, you start on 24 tablets a day. And the nurse comes out twice a day to make sure you're not going into alcoholic seizures.
That's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
From people when they drank excessively, they can't just quit, can they? No.
So it was 2 times a day, so that was 14 times out of the week. It was only over a week. And then after that, I went on to another tablet called anti-abuse. And basically, I couldn't have anything with alcohol in it at all. I couldn't use my deodorant, couldn't use my aftershave, couldn't use toothpaste, couldn't use hand wash, couldn't use nothing. Because if you have any alcohol, there is a risk to life, it could kill you.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did that last for, your detox?
I was on my detox for a week, and then I was on these other tablets for 6 months. I did have 3 months at first, and then it was up to me whether I wanted to continue for another 3 months. And at that time, I decided I wasn't strong enough to come off them tablets just yet.
Because I hear so many people in recovery, the way I've done it, I hear so many people saying you don't need to detox, but I know so many people that do.
Yes, you do.
And again, I can't express enough, there's more than one way to get clean and sober. I know people that were heroin users and then they come on a substitute and they have to detox off that before they can start their journey. And it's mad, because until I was educated enough, I was one of them people, Ronnie, that would say no. I packed in, I just stopped. But what works for one doesn't always work for another. And I think it's important to get the messages out there and to educate people on the different forms of sobriety help that's needed for each individual, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So, and how long are you sober today?
I'm 13 months now.
Amazing. Amazing. And surely your relationship with your daughters, is that coming back?
Yes, they came to see me on Christmas this year. And
how did that feel?
It was good, but they still have the dread in them because.
So they're going to, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to. And on the way up there, they were talking to each other. They were saying, "Well, Dad's not good. He's going to be drinking again. We know he is. He can't do it. He's tried it before and he can't do it." And when they came to the house to give Christmas presents and I gave them theirs, I had a can of Coke. He said, "Dad, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. You're not drinking. I don't drink no more. And I've told you I am doing this for you, so I'm not, well, I'm doing it for myself personally first, but I'm also doing it for the 2 girls."
And have you got a relationship with them today?
Yes, a lot better relationship. We're texting, we're seeing each other, we're going out for coffees.
Beautiful.
Don't get me wrong, the teenage girls, they go out.
Yeah, we don't see teenagers anyway, do we? But
so when I do get a chance to go for a coffee, it feels amazing.
So, since being sober, have you learned to be more open with your emotions? How do you deal with that?
I just let it go. I was sat there the other week watching the news and something came on and I just burst out crying. And my girlfriend said, "What are you crying for?" She said, "I don't know." She said, "It's good to cry." She said, "It's always good to have a good cry." She said, "But what are you crying?" I said, "I don't know, something what I heard on the news." I said, "I just started crying."
I can do that. I don't watch the news, but I can just sit here and the floodgates can open one day. It's because we're releasing them emotions, isn't it? And we're not numbing them, basically.
Well, that's what it is. Someone said to me, "You're basically getting all your emotions back. So all them are just going to build up and all of a sudden it's just going to burst out."
You mentioned your girlfriend. How's your relationship with her today?
A hell of a lot better. We're talking instead of shouting at each other. We're going out places. We're doing things together. Where I just want to just stay in and drink normally.
What are you discovering about yourself today?
I can have fun without alcohol. I can enjoy life without alcohol. I can have a better relationship without alcohol.
And 13 months ago you didn't?
No, 13 months ago I would never thought I would be 13 months clean to that this week.
So, we've touched on your trauma. How do you deal with the traumatic memories today sober?
I try to put them at the back of my mind and move on in life, because that's in the past. What's happened in the past has happened in the past. It's time to build a new future and make it a new future.
Sitting here right now, what's one thing you're proud of?
Sobriety.
Sobriety. So you should be. So can you tell us what a normal day looks like for you today compared to what it was?
Normal day, depends on what day it is. I get up, I have my shower, which I never showered in addiction. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because that's what addiction does for you. I have my shower, I plan my day. We go out on the weekends, we go out with the girlfriend on a Monday. Monday's the day, is my day, where I just chill. Tuesdays I'm busy, Wednesdays I'm busy, Thursdays I'm busy, and Fridays I'm busy.
So you're keeping yourself busy?
Keep myself busy. I take that one day where it's just for me.
I think that's important as well, isn't it?
You got to have that one day where you just, or even that couple of hours just for yourself, just to recover, think of your recovery.
What surprised you the most in getting sober?
Being sober. I
Because
never thought I would do it. I've been in addiction for 29 years, and I tried it myself. I couldn't do it. This time I thought, I'm not going to be doing it. I can't do it. 13 months down the line, I'm sober, and it's the best thing I've ever done.
If there's men out there struggling that have gone through a similar traumatic experience you have you got a message for them?
Go and seek help. Go on and tell people what you've gone through. It's not worth just letting it hit you inside. Just go and speak to someone. Go and even a friend, just go and speak to that person and tell them what you're going through. They'll understand what you're going through. People understood what I went through, and I know they've always been there for me.
It's nice to have that support, isn't it?
Yeah.
The fear keeps us away from reaching out and speaking up. What would you say to someone who's deep in addiction now that might be watching?
There is hope out there for you. I never thought I would be where I am today. Just go and seek help and get into that detox and rehab.
Let's give your younger self, the 15-year-old Ronnie, give him a bit of advice now.
Never pick up that first drink.
Even though you enjoyed it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never pick up that first drink. That first drink is always the one that does it.
So what keeps you grounded today?
My 2 daughters, my girlfriend, my job I've got, my volunteering job I've got. I just love everything I do without addiction.
Well, I think that brings us to close, Ronnie, and thank you for trusting me. Sitting there open and honest about your story with a massive traumatic experience, and couldn't have been easy because we don't know each other. You're someone that I've spoke to over the internet vaguely, and we have done a few messages, but the fact you're sober today and you've got recovery in your life, and you know today that it's not shame and you can openly speak about it, that's earned my respect, and I appreciate you coming on and I've loved listening to your story, so thank you from the
Thank
bottom
you.
of my heart. And guys, I hope you have enjoyed that. It was a hard listen, but as always, the purpose of this podcast is to carry a message of hope, that we don't suffer in silence. There is a solution out there, and again, that solution might be different from mine, might be different from Ronnie's, but the ultimate purpose is sobriety. And if you can do that, then hats off to you. If you've watched till the end, a big thank you. My inbox is always open, and again, I know I always say it, I'm not here to tell anyone how to do their recovery, how anyone should be getting sober. I'm not here to preach, I'm here to share my experience with like-minded guests that are willing to come on, share their story. Big love.